Today I'm going to show you how to make the best greens ever. So yes, put that can back on the shelf and go walk to the produce section right now because you're going to buy fresh collard greens. And put down that bag of the pre-cut ones. Those are nasty. They always have way too many stems. Now don't get me wrong, I love stems in my greens, but it has to be a good ratio. Last time I posted a video on greens, you guys were jumping me in the comments asking why do I cut the stem off if I'm just going to be using both anyways. And I don't know if this is like a sensory issue, but I don't like rolling up the greens when the stem is on there still. I feel like I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like the way it feels. I just roll up the leafy part and then I cut it to my desired size. You guys can cut it whatever size you want. Some people like them stringier, not stringier, but like skinnier cut. And then some people like them like really big and leafy. I like mine somewhere in the middle. Now, the most important step of this whole entire recipe is making sure that you wash the greens. I wash my greens in water and vinegar and I wash them about 2 to 3 times. Honestly, I probably should have washed them before I even cut them, but whatever. Greens come from the ground or a bush or a tree or something. I don't know where the fuck they come from, but they're dirty. Like they have like this sandy dirt texture to them. So if you don't wash it off, you're going to be chewing on what feels like sand. I'm using one humongous smoked turkey leg. You got to use some type of smoked something, okay? You use like ham hocks or neck bones or this because I don't eat pork, so obviously I'm going to use smoked turkey. If you happen to be vegan watching this video, you don't have to use the meat. You could replace it with liquid smoke. That gives it a really smoky, meaty flavor, but completely still vegan. If you don't like stems in your greens, then you could have just thrown this out, but I love them. I feel like it gives it a better texture and there's a lot of nutrients in the stems, so I find no point in wasting it. I just cube it up and throw it in and make sure I clean it with the rest of the greens. Please keep in mind that cooking greens is not a quick process, okay? You're gonna need a few hours for this recipe. I like to throw everything into the pot at once. I know some people like to make their broth first and then throw the greens. I don't have time for that shit, okay? Honestly, I feel like when you put everything together, the turkey starts to make the broth really rich, and then at the same time, the greens are cooking and absorbing all that flavor. I'm gonna put everything on the screen that I used. Now, when it comes to the brown sugar that you see on the screen, make sure it's just like a pinch or two, okay? Not a lot, because nobody likes sweet greens. Honestly, the only reason I use it is just to take away like that little bitter taste that greens has, but you should not be able to taste the sugar at all. You might look at this and be like, ooh, I don't like my greens to be spicy, but honestly, you don't really taste spice. It just kind of enhances the flavor. So don't forget the hot sauce and the crushed red pepper flakes. Once you have all your ingredients in the pot, you're going to put the lid on and you're going to let it simmer for a few hours, okay? Make sure you check on it every 30 to 45 minutes. And as soon as it looks like this, ooh, that's how you know it's ready. I promise you, this is going to be the best greens you ever tasted.